So welcome everybody to Chili and Chandler's the Fun Times Swoop to Rick Happy Hour. How's everybody doing on this March 15th? This hopefully is our last rerun episode for me and Chili because we should be getting back together in our virtual studios together and coming up with more, zaniness to talk about teacher life. Um, but leading into the reruns, I like to do what I always do, or me and Joey always do here, and that's just highlight some interesting holidays. So here on March 15th, it is National Everything You Think Is Wrong Day. Now I know that sounds bad, but today is a good day to remember that you aren't always right. So learn more from your mistakes. Okay. It's also International Dumbstruck Day. Here's where you get ready for fun activities and amazing facts that'll leave you dumbstruck and in awe. And if that's not a good segue into Choi and I don't know what is, because us teachers, we like to come up with funny, or not come up with, we don't make it up. We like to find funny and interesting facts that may teach you something, even if we're if we're acting like idiots. And then this really is a shout out here to teachers and anybody that just works long extended hours. March 15th is World Sleep Day. So sleep allows us to move mountains that we never thought possible before we hit the pillow. So remember, get your rest, everybody, because that'll allow you to listen to more Joey and Chandler's. So, like I said, this is our fourth rerun episode that Joey and I did from early in the season 2. We will be getting back together here shortly, and my goal is hopefully next week, Joey and I are back doing our new thing with the way the new setup goes. All right, everybody, enjoy. Peace. All right, so welcome everybody to the Joey and Chandler, Joey and Chandler's the Fun Time Super Terrific Happy Hour. Welcome, Joey.
Welcome, Chandler. Oh, it's been a long week.
Oh my gosh, you telling me? I don't have it on my notes, but I think I asked you last season, and I can't remember your response, but I know what happens in elementary. Dude, full moon. I think today was a super moon, right? So I know it's full moon fever. All that garbage is led to a lot.
And that as we were driving back from over in Hondo area just a little while ago. I looked over and I was like, dude, that thing's huge. It's just it really is.
Is it low too or something?
Yeah,
like the way the rotation is, or just it's right there.
It honestly, it almost looks like as if you could just reach out and pick it up out of the sky, kind of thing. It's just crazy. I was like, dang man, look at that thing.
To me, it always amazes me is whenever there's a full moon, how some people act crazy, especially kids. It's just what is it? What is it? It's some chemical magnetic /pull type thing or whatever, that makes people act like stupid people,
I don't know.
Kids, man. Kids are blowing my mind this week.
Gravitational pulls or some crap. I don't even know. I'm like, whatever. But then I don't know if I actually do it myself too.
I got 2 kids, well, 3 kids really, but 2 students that all week is they just been bickering like some old married couple. They're they're always both. One of us annoyed at the other, and then that one's annoyed at them, and it's just I'm just would you stop talking to each other? And we separated you. Just leave each other alone, man. Oh,
and anyway. They're 7 or 8 years old and they're already like that.
Most of them are 7, yeah.
That's gonna be some hard relationships when those kids get older, man.
I told one of the, it's a girl and a boy, right? And I told the girl, I was like, look, I don't, and in my head I'm like, I don't want to sound mean, but I'm like, I've moved you 6 times already since school started, and you still keep having the same problems with different people. And some of these people are people that no one has ever had a problem with in their life, right? And I'm like, at some point, you got to realize you're the problem. It's not them.
It's you.
You're the issue. Anyway, all that moaning and groaning from us. All right, it's October 6th. So I was looking up some holidays. This first one doesn't pertain to you, sir, but it's National Transfer Money to Your Daughter Day, by the way. Just so you know. So
That's what
kudos for you for not having a daughter, because you'd have to give her money apparently.
I know. I'm like, I can only imagine who paid for that holiday to get made.
Was it the daughters? Did they borrow money from their parents to pay for the holiday?
Like I need about $4,995.
Yeah. And it's also inbox 0 day. So go through your email and delete any crap, especially from your principal, right?
I tell you what, man. I actually like I do pretty good with that, and like I thought, like most people, like that's why they give you tabs and all sorts of little
Yeah.
things and labels and emails, right?
Yeah.
And I'll see some people's emails at work, and it's like 10,000 unread emails, and I'm like, and I
That's
just see
not
that.
important. That's not
Well,
important at all.
but I'm just like like I don't. I'm sure I've had 10,000 emails, but I'm like 10,000 emails. You haven't read them,
I,
and
I
I get almost the same thing though. Hold on, sorry to interrupt me, but I get almost the same. Like, well, I read them and then I mark them as unread, so I can know to get back and I got to go back and look at them. I'm like, yeah, but 10,000 of them, like. When you have time to go back and really look, I'm like, just sort those out, delete them, or just get a whole new email address and just start over fresh. Like,
you,
I don't have those
you,
anymore.
you know how, like, I don't know, maybe you like purchase something and you have to give them an email and give them like your work email or whatever. Like
Yeah,
I swear most of the emails I get daily to my school email are stuff I don't need. And so I'm just like, I delete it immediately. I probably need to start being like unsubscribe or spam or whatever. But it's like, I don't like it building up now because like seeing all these unread. But what I have about 300 emails. They're read, but they're in my inbox. And I'm like, well, I might need this, you know? Even though rather than put it in a folder, I'm like, oh, I might need this. I
I'm
might
like,
need that.
you're the same kind of person, man. Like that I just
Yeah.
complained about.
Yeah.
Just
I'm that
file them
guy.
away. File them away. Like create a tab, urgent or important or review. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Put it away.
Every folder that I've created for stuff, I've never been like, hey, let me go look in that folder again. I'm just like, is it in my inbox? You know,
That's why I
must
like
not be
it.
important.
GT, Special Ed, 504, RTI.
Right?
Even if it's something like even if it's like a meeting invitation, I'm like, well, 'cause I've gotten bitten in that, but once or twice where they're like, well, you got invited to that thing, and I'm like, I don't think so, and like I can't prove I didn't. So I'm like, okay, so now I'm like moving invites over. I'm like, meeting invites right there. There you go. Whoosh, just toss it in there just in case.
I mean, that's solid advice. It's just, I procrastinate. Just put it to the side. I'll get it at some point, you know?
Well, you know what blows my mind though is when I realize like your Google like email at the bottom has like how many gigs of data your stuff's using, and that's like across your Google stuff. So anything like associated with that Gmail is like your Gmails, your calendar, your Drive, all that stuff. My work is 5,000. Like when I saw it today, like 5,341 gigabytes of data, and,
Gigs.
and my personal one is 7. I'm like, what kind of crap do I have sitting in there?
It's
That
not
I have
like you have like
five
videos.
thousand.
It's not like you have videos and photos and stuff, is it?
I know I have some photos because like when I do walkthroughs and stuff like that for teachers, I got photos. Only video I know of that I have is when there was this officer like that took down this kid and basically tackled him in the hallway. I like downloaded the security video because it just looked. I'm all, where'd it go? It looked badass. That's all. So you just see him like Darren Woodson, like old school strong cowboy safety, just blam. And so I'm like, I even showed him. I was like, hey man, you know that takedown you had the other day? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you want to see it on video? And he's like, what? And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, he's like, yeah, I want to see it. And so I'm like, right here, freeze. That's the point where the kid realized he made a mistake. That's what I think, because you see it on his face, like, oh.
I'll say like,
yeah.
rock bottom there for him. Hey, did I tell you last year I was dressed up as I was just Snoopy costume and I was calling myself because I was doing science videos and recording it and it's showing the class and all the second graders, and so I was calling myself Science Dog, and that was my name, right? I just made it up, and then I had like a YouTube channel for the district,
for my email, right? Anyway, like I would show it, and then some of my kids were like, "Can we subscribe to you?" And I was like, "There's not really anything on there, people." I was like, I just make like a science video here and there. Like you're not gonna see too much, you know. It made me laugh. We had a STEM night or science and STEM night, and I dressed up as Science Dog. And it's just a huge Snoopy costume. But man, I was sweating my off, you know, but because it's hot, man. But the kids loved it. So.
You should come up with like a name like Saturn the Science Dog or Pluto
Something
or
like
something.
that. Can't do
Something like
Pluto,
that.
man. It's Mickey. That's Mickey's dog, man. It's Mickey's best friend.
Or Proton.
Proton.
Proton. Something sciencey that the kids would use. Like, oh yeah. So that way, when they get older, they can be like, I remember when Mister Bing dressed up as such and such the science dog when I was in second grade, and they'll make fun of you about it, but you'll
Yeah.
never know. You'll never know
I,
though.
I should just show like I thought about wearing that costume for when we do our graduation, but instead of being Science Dog, I was like I'm Graduation Dog. Science Dog's my cousin, and I was gonna wear like a little tie. Have like a little tie. Like no, I'm actually presentable. I'm dignified here.
Um, but, I don't know. Like it stemmed off like the same memory because I was like, like I for some reason Bio 2 popped in my brain.
Yeah.
Then, remember when we would do the science walks and he took us through like the forest and that one kid, and I saw the
Yeah.
kid skipping and he was like, "Oh no, that was my twin brother." And I was like, "Oh, okay, sounds good." And turns out he didn't actually have a twin. It was actually him. And the kid's like, "I fooled you." I'm like,
You're
"You were
like
skipping."
you're like touche, skipping and just hiding in the woods. I mean, it's one thing to skip class, but I mean, do something else, man. Or
Like
just hide in a tree.
running around in the bushes and stuff like that. I'm like, does class suck that bad that you're like just hanging out in the trees? Like, shh, don't tell anybody. I'm like, why are you out here? Like, class doesn't suck that bad.
All right. So we're doing small group time now. We used to call it guided reading, guided math. Now it's small groups. We just call it just a different name.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is because we go through the procedures and we practice at the beginning of the year from early days and let them know. But something about me working with kids, working with a small group, seems to let everybody else know that I must have a sign on my back that says, "Sure, come bother me. I'm ready to deal with nonsense." Because kids the last 2 years, I'd be like big problem, little problem. We had a counselor yesterday. We had a counselor lesson, and it's called for Counselor's Choices. Have you heard of Counselor's Choices?
Huh.
All right, it's probably more for young kids. It's just ways that they can handle stuff without getting the teacher involved, right? But they don't call it big problem, little problem. They call it, is it a suitcase problem or is it a backpack problem, right? Is it a backpack you can carry by yourself or is it a suitcase you need help with? And so that's what I've been saying, especially, dude, I lost count how many times today. But I'd be like, is it a suitcase problem or a backpack problem? And they'd be like, it's a backpack problem. I was like, well, you don't need to tell me. Because they'd be like, so-and-so made a face at me. Okay. Ignore it. Walk away.
What am I doing to you right now?
Exactly. I was like, I got a small group right here, right? I was like, I can't be stopping with this to deal with like what I call like nonsense is the easiest word I can say. It's like, oh my God, you're killing me, guys. You're killing me, Smalls. I wanted to get shot glasses with that saying on it, right? And I want to say it to the kids a lot too, but I know they're not gonna know what I'm talking about. They're like, "What movie is that?"
Just show them. Work it out. Work it out somehow into like some sort of lesson. That way they can get it.
Exactly. Anything new you got going on you want to say? Before I got one more thing, but I don't want to cut you off. You had some topics or whatever.
No, transitioning to director of instructional technology is somewhat of a boring life, man. It's always the same, just sitting in front of a screen, tap.
It's a good thing you brought that up. I remember to write it on. I forgot to write it on my notes one of these days. I know you've talked about that. Me, on the other hand, like, dude, I barely get a chance to sit down and rest. Like even snacked, like my conference time was almost always some kind of meeting, or we got to get together and work on plans, right? Lunch is just so short. It's like the kids are there. I mean, I see the kids from 7:10 till past 3:00, and I'm just that's over 8 hours, man, and it's like almost nonstop. Like even when they're not with me, but they're in specials, I'm still working on something. I don't know what it'd be like to be like. Like I said, I almost wonder what's worse because I feel bad for you. Like you got all that downtime, right?
But
And
and
you're
so like
bored or whatever, right?
and I think part of it is because it's such a smaller district that there's not as many things that I got to work through, and so I got like a lot of downtime. Like if I was a bigger district, I'd probably be a little more active. But it's also the fact that they're like, well, there's so many things you could bring in instructionally for this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, like, but we're just not there that yet with the teachers, and I'm like, well, then, what do you want me to do? Like, you want me to show them, hey, look at all this cool stuff you can do with this computer and with this and this and this. But you're a teacher who doesn't know how to log in all the time, 100%. So once we get past, I'm like, we're on like day 1, minute 5, and I'm ready to show them like 3 years down the road.
Mm.
But a lot of it is just, oh, okay, the kid can't log in. And I almost want to be like, you teach them stuff, right? So when they make a mistake the first time, you show them how to do it and you expect them to get it right. But yet I've showed you how to log in yourself 3 times and you can't figure it out. The kid can't.
We have quick link cards, right? Just like a QR code.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the kids just scan it. Like they have like a student number and a password, but they just scan the QR code and it just logs them in automatically. But actually here, it's not quite October yet, but it's almost there. Although this is our October 6th episode. On October 24th, man, I'm doing our technology expo. And so I gotta do something for the parents. I let the parents know, but I need to try and get some kind of, I don't want to say waiver, but like I want to know what kids can make it to the thing, right? So, because basically what it is they're going to present some of the technology we're doing in the classroom. But I was thinking today at dismissal, I was like, well, if I get kids that can't make it, because I want to know who's going to come, right? But let's say I'm not going to know if anyone's going to come. I need to record. I wonder if I could record a video of them teaching people like whatever the program or whatever the software, that we're doing. And so if they don't show up, I could show them the video. Like, here's a kid explaining what we do and showing you what we do. Either way, this just work. But I gotta figure that out. It's here about, what is it, almost 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks away. I let parents know. Now I just need to try it. I talked to a parent today because her daughter is pretty smart. She's the one I'm always like, when kids ask me stuff, when I have that sign on my face that says "Cheer bother me," I'm like, go talk to so and so. I was like, she knows how to do it. I was like, please leave me alone. Go ask her. Go ask so and so. Go ask so and so. I was like, I'm working right now. I'm sorry, I can't help you. So,
You go ask her, and she's like, I'm not the teacher's aide.
Yeah. She's not showing me. She's like, let's all leave class early.
Hey, hey, you know what? That's not okay. That's not my fault. You don't give a 17-year-old power over. Like, think about it. If you left a class, and I get it, you teach 7-year-olds, but it's 7 or 17 don't matter. If you were like, hey, Sydney, chill over here for a little bit. I got to go to a doctor's appointment. You got the class for the last 10 minutes. What's gonna happen? Like your AP's right. Your principal's coming to you and be like, you left kids unattended for 10 minutes. We're gonna have to write you up and possibly fire you.
You're
and
like,
I was the
what's
one
your
that gets
point?
in trouble.
You're like, what's your point? I don't get it.
I know. I'm like, how am I the one that's getting in trouble? Yeah, like I shouldn't have done it, but you left me in charge.
Did they revoke your teacher aide privileges after that day?
Yeah, I got moved out. I got moved to office aide.
Was office aide worse?
Yeah, kind of, because I just had to sit there in the front office. Which I thought was odd that, you move someone to an office aide who skips all the time.
They just, they wanted to keep an eye on you, right?
I guess I still graduated pretty high up there, and I thought that was crazy too.
Sometimes I feel like a Seinfeld episode. Remember, like when he kept getting bumped when he was trying to do career day at his high school.
Yeah.
Where like Dave Letterman was like, "Oh, we're running out of time. We're just gonna move that to this next episode. We're just gonna move that to later on." I feel like we're coming up on that break. Still growing, by the way. No new countries yet, but I keep telling people. There's a counselor. She was at my school last year. She had a new school this year. And she was asking, she's like, "You still podcasting?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Hell," I was like, "Yeah, I do." I was like, it's a good outlet, right?" But I was like, "We're growing," and I told her I saw her tonight, and I was like, me and Chloe, we may not make money out of it, but it's more for fun and relaxing type stuff, And she's like, "Well, you never know." I was like, "Well, yeah. I mean, you never know." I was like, "I will tell you this: from last year to this year, we're bigger now." That doesn't say a whole lot because we're not like it's like we didn't have a whole lot of listeners last year, but I mean, if you keep growing like that, maybe we don't know. But that's why I was
What?
texting you earlier this week, man. If we can become friends with Ryan Reynolds and his like Instagram followers are like 40 plus million, the
Yeah.
sky's what we're looking up.
I'm like, even if we just got like a fraction of that, we'd still be pretty good.
I want to.
What I
If we
think,
could get a million would be awesome right now.
I don't even know what I would do.
Yeah.
I don't. I'd be like, can I make enough money where I can quit my job?
Yeah. We'd have to be pulling in what like $6,000 a month, from advertising or something.
Like,
Yeah.
Can I be wearing any more clothes?
Was he free balling in that episode too?
He's like, yeah. He's like, if I wasn't going commando. And he's like, oh. I'm like, at that point, like, it doesn't even matter if he's going commando. He's got 40 layers of clothes on. He's sweating something fierce. We're good.
And he was an Italian guy who did nothing but eat a lot of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, wasn't probably wouldn't have been good. But all right, man, want to roll to a quick break?
Yep. We'll see everybody on the other side.
All right, then let's go. Break time.
Oh, there it is.
All right, we'll do all of them. Like I said, unfortunately, no new countries yet, but it's coming, right? So in Germany, we say Prost.
Prost.
South Korea, we say Gunbei.
Gunbei.
Brazil, we say Saudi.
Saudi.
England, we say cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Australia, we say cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
You want to try your Barbados again? Was it?
I think
cheers?
It was like cheers, like something like that. I believe they're gonna be like, "That's not how we talk."
You watch the video just to make fun of us. Then it's a new one. French Canada. I'll even go proper this time. Ata Sante.
Ata Sante, and then cheers, yeah.
Poser. Colombia. Salud. And our friends in the Philippines, Tagay. And then Norway is Skull. Oh, messed up on the parentheses. I let Hooks know, by the way, that we're in Norway now. She's like, "Oh, we can actually say Skull," and I was like, "Yeah, officially."
Is she the one that was doing it?
Remember, she's the one we did our little summer thing, and she was trying to say it, and I was like, "No, you can't."
Because can you like register as like a listener, like wherever? Could I tag myself and say I'm from there?
I think if you get what they call it, like a VPN, like a virtual private network.
Oh, so it actually.
I think you can do stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it's like you don't want to cheat that,
I was just curious.
I want to be legit. All right, so hey, I want a little new segment here. I want to every now and then I would like to ask a principal a question, right?
Yeah.
So you can answer this in your serious tone, your funny tone, your little bit of mix, whatever. What is the proper etiquette for when you get chewed out by a parent? How should one handle this?
I mean, it's the best way anytime that you get in an argument with a parent, with a coworker, with a friend, and you can't talk to them about it and tell them what I'm about to tell you first off, because if you do and they catch you doing it, then it makes it even worse. But almost any situation, when they're upset at you, somebody wants to feel validated. They may be upset at you, they may be upset at the situation. More than likely it's the situation. You just happen to be the person representing the other side of the situation. And so essentially what I like to employ is what I call the non-apology apology. Mm-hmm. Where you say, "I'm sorry that you feel that way." Because you're not saying I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry that
right.
And most of the time people don't catch on to it. then they're good, and then like you leave because it like because especially for me, I know when I was early on in my career, like I didn't want to apologize. I'm like, I'm not wrong, you're wrong, you're stupid. But but then I learned the non-apology apology and say like, I'm sorry that you feel that way. And people like they de-escalate a little bit, and they calm, and they get a little better. Like afterwards, you're just like, I didn't actually say I'm sorry, and you took it that way because you're an idiot. You're an idiot. And that's why you're upset in the first place. Yeah.
That's what they call eye language. I feel like, it's like I feel this is like, instead of being like, instead of me like blaming you for something, it's like I feel when you talk to me in this tone that this is what you mean.
Yeah. Essentially, you just
By the
have to
way,
sit there and take it. Well, the only time I ever even feel myself getting irritated is when they like they rant, and you're like, well, I'm sorry
yeah,
that you. And they're like, it's just that, and they say the same stuff again, and you're like, oh, I got it. No, I got it. I got it the first time you said it, and then they do it like 2 or 3 more times. You're like, dude,
you're like, time out, time out.
you're like, I got other stuff to do today, man.
I,
And
I just want
you,
to, I want to let the listeners know that that was completely, like fresh to you, and you handled it like you'd prep for the question.
oh,
Like
I mean,
you,
I'm good.
you were like you were a politician at some kind of come to some kind of speech, and you already knew what was happening. You're like, I got this.
I feel like there's probably some things that I'll probably encounter in my career before I retire that I'll get surprised with. There's at this point there's not a whole lot that I haven't at least gone through once where I'm like, okay, I got to change that up, or I think I nailed it.
I was surprised. I thought I had a different question typed in there, so I was like, what? I thought I was gonna ask you something different. And I was like, oh, I must have changed that. So, like I said, every now and then I'd like to just ask a principal, like, how do we handle this situation, right? So
Yeah.
again, kudos there. All right. A little new thing here. I got a little Sesame Street photo for you, but I call it like, every now and then, and it could be a you thing, a me thing, a word of the day, right? Kind of like a word or a phrase. Like, let's explain this, right? So I've chosen now this is something I've created. I call it the joke matrix, right?
Yeah.
And when I was in the Navy, we had it. Oh my God, it was risk management is what they called it, right? But basically, it was this little matrix. You kind of analyze, like, is the reward worth the risk, right?
Yeah.
Is it going to outweigh, like, it? If I barely get anything out of this, is it really worth taking this big a chance? So for my joke matrix, it's kind of similar, but I'm like, is the laugh is where you have to balance out if the laugh is worth it, because sometimes you may offend somebody too much. So you got to think in your head, and a lot of times I almost maybe miss that little window to get the joke in, because I'm thinking like, I don't really want to upset somebody, because I'd hate to somebody off, because I said a joke, and then because not everyone gets it the same way, but
Yeah.
so do this go through your head, or is it just me?
There are definitely some times where I'm like, something pops in my head, and I'm like, I don't want to say it because I think it might make somebody mad. Yeah.
There was a kid a couple of years ago that I had leaned down at dismissal, and I was on like my left knee. You know, you lean down on your left knee, but your right knee's kind of like you're on the foot,
Yeah.
so it's bent, right? And so my groin region is kind of showing basically. And I forget, I was correcting his behavior, and he straight looked me up and down, right? And I was like, I stood up immediately because I thought he was going to take a shot, at my
Yeah.
weak area. And I was just like, what? I was like, in my brain, I was like, you're 7 years old and you're like scanning me like this is going to be some kind of rumble. I was like, what the? So
That's when you tell a kid, you can try it, but when you wake up tomorrow, you're gonna realize it was a bad idea.
well, I'm allowed to defend myself, right?
You start beating the crap out of the kid, and they're like, he wasn't even doing anything here. I could see it. I could see it in his eyes.
You didn't see the look he gave me, He stared into my soul. I was like, that's it. We got to end this now. Sorry, man. Taking a sip. All right. We get in this episode on a funny quote. and then we'll go to our social media plug, right? Um, if you ever feel, and this again may not apply to you, you're admin guy. Even when you were a teacher, you're more of a PE teacher, so I don't know how much you did this,
Not a lot.
But if you ever feel that you have the need to ask yourself, would that be better laminated? Guess what? You, sir, or ma'am, are a teacher. FYI, I'm not like that. That's like there's so many teachers. I like laminating stuff.
Sure.
If you don't laminate it, it gets destroyed pretty quickly and easily. But it's like I'm not like, man, I gotta laminate. It's weekend time,
I don't know if I can hang out, guys. I got a lot of laminating to do.
Your choice like, hey, dude, want to do the podcast? I'm sorry, man. I got all these task cards I got, man. Actually, there are people there are teachers I know that have their own personal printer and personal laminating machine. And I was like, that'd probably be the smart thing for me to do. But I'd like having the excuse of like, I don't have it at home. I can't do it,
Printer, yeah, because they're cheap, but I don't think even a personal laminator would be cheap.
I don't think the machine's the problem. It's the laminating, whatever you call it, material itself. Yeah, the film. That's the pricey.
Well, because like we have a printer at our house. The thing costs like $40. You know what kills it is the damn ink. The ink cartridge.
Yeah, I'll say the ink adds up or whatever.
The ink's we're good. We're still there.
Yeah.
The ink's the thing it kills, man. Like when you replace those ink cartridges, it's like buying a whole new printer again.
Really? Cost that much?
Yeah, I bought like replaces, and it was it was like at least now it's like $25-$30 to replace the color one and the black one. It was crazy. Man. I was like the whole machine cost me like $45.
Do they have programs or like there's a lot of mails like we would call it clubs you can get in there's like shaving clubs and stuff, but I thought there was something you could get some kind of ink stuff, some kind of
there's one
bargain bin shopping or whatever,
Well, I don't know about that one. I just know there was one that when I bought the printer, it was like sign up for like never ending ink, and I was like, oh, okay, what is that? But it's like a certain amount of money, like you pay a month to be part of the club, and then on top of you part of the club, then it like monitors your ink like your prints, and the machine like sends them a notice like letting you know, like so they can order more ink, but you still got to pay for it. I'm like, oh, no point in that one.
So it's just a waste of money. Just like everything when people try and get you in, right?
Yeah.
Pay for this. It'll help you out. And you're like, it doesn't really help me out. Thanks a lot. Where were you on that? Where were you on that, dumb at?
Alrighty. Social media time, sir.
All right. You want to do it? You want me to? I'll do it. You want me to do it?
Sure.
All right. So obviously, you follow us, Choey and Jan, CHOEY, the letter N, JAN. We're on Threads, Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on. It's still hard for me to call it X because it's like it used to be Twitter, So like Twitter or X, formerly known as Twitter.
I think the website too is still twitter.com, isn't it?
I think so. We're on Facebook. Dude, we're on YouTube. I realized that the last episode I forgot to put on Facebook's or YouTube. I'm sorry, so I'm gonna get that done this weekend. I actually went to look it up this morning. And I was like, oh, it's not on YouTube. I was like, man, I messed up. So same stuff. Hit us up. I love posting stuff on Threads, just little funny things in the clip, here and there. So check it out. Anything you want to add, sir?
Negative Ghost Rider. I think that pattern is full.
All right, good little Top Gun there reference.